their first home win of the season on Friday with a massive upset over Cane Bay. We will have more on that in a bit. But the big news this week, our HEV election special. Welcome back to the worldwide leader of all things Hanahan. I'm Macy Ducker. It's Friday, September 10th, and you're watching Hawk's Eye View. Today is a very special episode of Hawk's Eye View, so let's get started. Here is our election expert, Jesse Alreblero, with the annual HEV election special.
It's that time of year again where you vote who represents you on student council. Each candidate recorded a short video in hopes of gaining your vote. Let's look at your freshman candidates.
Good morning, Hanahan. My name is Cassidy Parson, candidate number 1, running for freshman class president. I've been in the course since 6th grade, so let my voice sing for you and any problem you believe is important. My name is Cassidy Parson, candidate number 1, running for freshman class president.
Hi Hanahan, I'm Riley Fabian, candidate number 2, running for your freshman class president. You should vote for me because I'm going to give you the best Spirit Week. And you know what? I'm all about the F words. F is for fun, F is for freshman, and F is for Fabian. I'm here for you, candidate number 2, Riley Fabian, freshman class president.
Hanahan, I'm Mantis Kim, candidate number 3, running for freshman class president. If you vote for me, I will cure COVID. And if you don't, I think we know what's going to continue to happen. So vote for the cure. Me, candidate number 3, Mantis Kim, freshman class president.
I'm Jade Nguyen, candidate number 1, running for freshman class secretary. I know friends in high places. In fact, I know the boogeyman. So if you don't want him tickling your feet at night, vote for me. Jade Nguyen, candidate number 1, running for freshman class secretary.
Parker Ballou, candidate number 2 for freshman class secretary. There's only one candidate that you want to represent you. Don't be blue, vote Ballou. Candidate number 2, Parker Ballou for freshman class secretary.
What's up, Hanahan? It's Dylan Kennedy, your number 1 candidate for freshman vice president. Remember, don't be silly, vote for Dilly.
What's up, Hanahan? I'm Ben Swecki, candidate 3 for freshman class vice president. Now, I'm on the swim team, so why don't I make waves for you? Ben Swecki, a little BS in HHS. Ben Swecki, candidate 3, freshman class vice president.
I'm Nikki Zhao, candidate number 1, running for freshman class treasurer. If you want to be rich, vote for me. If you want to be poor, vote for someone else. The answer is obvious. Vote for me, Nikki Zhao, candidate number 1, freshman class treasurer.
Hi, I'm Avery Womble, candidate number 2 for student council freshman treasurer. So if you're all about that paper, that bag, that money, then vote for me, Avery Womble.
Let's take one last look at your freshman candidates. Now it's time for the sophomores.
Hi, I'm Henley Nicotine. I'm running for sophomore president and I'm contestant number 1. Get it done and vote for number 1.
Yo Hawks, it's me, Natalie Hardy, sophomore candidate number 2. Miss Raisbeck put me up against Henley because she thinks I can win. And when has Miss Raisbeck ever been wrong? So vote me, candidate number 2, Natalie Hardy.
Hi sophomores, I'm candidate number 1 for vice president, Abelin Bailey. And if you want a student council that's working for what you want Hanahan to be, then you should vote me, Abelin Bailey, for 10th grade VP. Candidate number 1.
Hi Hanahan, it's Shad Ahmed, candidate number 2 for sophomore class vice president. So we all know the vice president is the most important position. If the president went down, then who would you want? The choice is obvious. Vote candidate number 2, Shad Ahmed, for your sophomore class vice president.
I'm candidate number 3, Michelle Clark, running to be your sophomore class vice president. I want to represent your ideals, values, and decisions. Your choice is clear. Make your mark, vote for Clark, candidate number 3 for sophomore class vice president.
I'm Alex Stuckey, contestant number 1, running for your sophomore secretary. Just remember, don't be Stuckey and vote for Stuckey. Hey Hanahan, I'm Sophia Bennett, candidate number 2, running for your sophomore class secretary. You know I'm the best for you, so vote candidate 2. Don't forget Sophia Bennett for sophomore class secretary.
I got a question for you, Hanahan. Do you need a secretary that can type 4,000 words per minute? Do you need a secretary that can make you the world's best coffee? And do you need a secretary that can always answer your call? Well, vote for me, Nicholas Reese, contestant 3.
Hi Hanahan, my name is Hannah Grace McCown and I'm contestant number 1, running for student council treasurer for the sophomores. I feel as though I would be the best fit for treasurer because I will ensure that all funds and fundraising events are handled properly. So remember the face, vote for Hannah Grace, contestant number 1.
Hi, my name is Kaylee Weigel. I'm contestant number 2, and I don't want to be a pester, but I really need your vote for 10th grade treasurer.
Here's one last look at your sophomore candidates.
Hey y'all, I'm Brooke Jones and I'm running to be your junior class president. I've had a great experience in this position the past couple years, and with your vote, I hope to continue the amazing work we've been doing. My plan for us is to make HHS a better place and make sure you feel like your voices are heard. So, if you're ready to knock this year out of the park, remember to vote candidate number 2, Brooke Jones.
Hey y'all, I'm Susan McAllister and you should vote me for your junior class vice president. I've done this for the past 2 years and I've worked hard in student council to make sure your voice is heard. And like they say, the third time's a charm. So remember juniors, don't go bananas, vote Savannah.
Hi Hanahan, I'm contestant number 2, Riley Hoffman for Junior Vice President, and you need to vote for me because if I win, Mr. Hines is going to do a TikTok dance. Once again, number 2, Junior Vice President, Riley Hoffman.
Hey everyone, I'm Arjana Thani, and I'm running for your Student Council Junior Secretary. I've been in Student Council for the past 2 years, and I'd love this year to be great after everything being in virtual last year. So vote candidate number 1, Marjan. There are no cons.
Hi, my name is Matthew Elder. I'm candidate number 2, and I'd be happy to run for your junior class secretary for 2021 and going forward. Vote for candidate number 2, Matthew Elder.
Hey Hanahan, my name is Caroline Melton and I'm your candidate number 3 for your junior class secretary. This may be your first time seeing my face, but I decided it's some new time for some fresh new faces on student council. Again, vote for me, I'm number 3.
Hey Hanahan, candidate number 1, Amy Greiner here. I have a very special talent. And what's that talent, you ask? Making fudge. So vote for me if you would like some fudge. Candidate number 1, Amy Greiner.
What's up, Hanahan? I'm Landon Songer and I'm running for your junior class treasurer. I feel like I'm a great person to fill this spot because I'm hardworking, have great ideas, and I just love to be a part of student council. So remember to vote number 2, Landon Songer, for your junior class treasurer.
Now let's take a look at your 12th grade candidates.
Hey y'all, it's Madison Lynn running for your senior class president. Vote candidate number 1, now let's have some fun.
Hey class of 2022, I know these past few years have been rough, but let's make this last one the best one. There's only one way to do that. Vote Brooklyn Murphy, candidate number 2, for your senior class president.
What's up, seniors? I'm candidate number 1, Skylar Frazier, running for your senior class vice president. I would love to represent our graduating class this year. So class of 2022, we all agree, vote Skylar Frazier for your senior VP.
Hey, my name is Cameron Strickland, contestant number 2, and I'm running for your senior class vice president. There's only one clear choice here, and that's me, contestant number 2, for your senior class vice president.
Finally, let's take a look at your student body candidates. Remember, no matter what grade you are in, you can still vote for these officers.
What is up, Hanahan? I am Zoe Max Berlinski, contestant number 1, running for your future student body vice president. I have lived in Hanahan my entire life, and I want to make my last year here memorable, safe, and comfortable for everyone. If you want a reliable and relatable student body representative to represent your voice here at Hanahan, vote me, contestant number 1, Zoe Max Berlinski.
I'm Macy Ducker, and I'm candidate number 2, running to be your student body vice president, and I approve this message.
If you vote for Macy, I will flex for you and blow you kisses.
And that is a promise. Vote Macy Ducker, candidate number 2 for student body vice president, because yo said so.
Hey Hanahan, I'm Sarah Stoddart, candidate number 1 for student body secretary. Last year, I was your junior class secretary, and this year, I'm your international club president. So if you want someone who has lots of experience, remember to vote candidate number 1, Sarah, for student body secretary.
I'm Abby Dyson, and I'm running to be your student body secretary. I'd love to represent our class. You know what to do. Vote candidate number 2.
Remember, everyone can vote, don't wait to vote. Now back to Macy in the studio.
Thanks, Jessie L. Make sure to cast your vote as soon as Hawk's Eye View is over. Tomorrow marks a very special day in American history. To those who lived through it, though, it is more than just a random date. Here is Amy Greiner with more.
9/11, I was living in New York.
When 9/11 happened, I was in the library.
In 2001, I was a sophomore in college at the College of Charleston.
At the time, working at a publishing company down on Wall Street.
On the morning of 9/11, I was 7, so I was in elementary school.
So at the time, I took the train down.
That morning, I was actually going to get breakfast.
This just in, you are looking at obviously a very disturbing live shot there. That is the World Trade Center, and we have unconfirmed reports this morning that a plane has crashed into one of the towers.
So while in there doing the research, there was a lot of commotion in the hallway. Me and my guys, we jumped up and went out there. It was like, what's going on? And they said someone just ran an airplane into one of the Twin Towers.
And they had the TV on, and on the TV it was after the first plane had hit, so what was that, like 8:45?
Everybody was huddled around this small TV, and you could see smoke coming out of one of the towers, and then another plane slammed into the other one.
Another passenger plane hitting the World Trade Center.
So I didn't even know anything happened. People are on the train going, you know, some guy flew into the World Trade Center in their plane, and I thought it was just like a Cessna or somebody like kind of yahooing around. I had no idea.
I just remember teachers being frantic and being really sad, and they were crying, and they were all looking at these big box TVs is what we had in the classroom back then.
One of the instructors came and said, well, you know what's going on. Someone is attacking the U.S. and using airplanes as a weapon.
And then by the time I got out of class, the buildings had collapsed.
We heard the sound, the rumbling, we didn't know what happened. And all of a sudden our train kind of filled with dust, debris, and smoke. And when I came out, it looked like a war zone. It was, windows were blown out, there was dust and dirt everywhere.
By the time I got out of class, the buildings had collapsed. So all of that kind of happened in that hour and a half of my first class of that day.
They would turn on the news and they tried to explain it to us the best that they could, but it was just very hectic. And I remember we were sent home early from school.
My wife, she was working at a farmer's market, and she was supposed to work that day at the World Trade Center. Her farmer's market was set up underneath the second tower.
I felt like watching that on TV, it was almost like it was unreal and it was like a movie.
I'd been to New York a bunch, had pictures at the bottom of the World Trade Center. I'd been up to the observatory on the top of the World Trade Center.
Very emotional, you know, not seeing it, and then also knowing what happened, knowing that you had friends that were there, and you'll never see them again.
In my mind's eye, it's like, what are we still doing in school? You know, let's go kick some bad guys' butt for attacking us on our soil. I mean, that's pretty much how it felt.
The one thing that I will remember most about that time, being 20 years old, is that was one of those events that really brought people together. So it didn't matter what part of the country you were from. If you went out there, I've never seen more American flags in my life.
It was crazy. It was it was crazy.
Is truly a day that will never be forgotten. As we continue with the newscast, we have more school news for you. We want to invite you to join the club that includes all cultures. Interested in learning more about other cultures? Come join the International Club. It's a fun, social club that meets once a month to discuss everything from what life is like in other countries to the kinds of food people eat around the world. If you are interested in joining the club, join the International Club Google Classroom with the code CGO725L. Or you can see Miss Stoddard, the club sponsor, in room 125 before or after school with any questions. Stop by Miss Stoddard's room or join the Google Classroom today. You also need to be on Google Classroom to look for an NHS invite. Make sure you are on the lookout for an invite to the NHS Google Classroom. They will have their first meeting on September 14th at 8:30 a.m. in room 121. Since we are club hopping, let's hit another. The ESOL Club is still recruiting members and their first meeting is coming up. The ESL Career and College Bound Club wants you. Join the Google Classroom with the class code KP5EZB2. Again, that code is KP5EZB2. The first virtual meeting will be held on September 14th at 6:30 p.m., which will have lots of great info about Hispanic Heritage Month and Career and College Night, so make sure that you use the Meet link in the Google Classroom. Make sure that you join today. Today is also the time to make sure that you are on top of your grades. Progress reports are right around the corner. Make sure that you turn in any missing assignments. Progress reports will be released on September 16th, so double check with your teachers that you have everything turned in. Keep up with your grades and keep up with our Hawk sports teams. Here is Jackson Zeron with HEV Sports.
Josh Shaw with a game-winning 38-yard catch and a nice run to put the Hawks up for good on Friday. Welcome everyone to your worldwide leader for all things Hawk sports. I'm Jackson Zeron, and let's get right to it. Wally Knight Stadium hosted their first game of the season on Friday, with the Hawks taking on a much bigger Cane Bay team. The Hawks came out strong with a great throw from freshman quarterback Jaden Cummings to put the Hawks in scoring position. Later in the game, with both teams tied up, Josh Shaw breaks away with a great run, breaking 3 tackles, putting the Hawks in the lead 14-7. And let's look one more time at Josh with the game winner. The Hawks hold on to win in an upset 28-21, securing the victory in the season opener. Moving on from one giant to the next, the Hawks take on Stratford on Friday. Here's Nathan with a preview.
Thanks, Jackson. I'm standing on the spot. Josh Shaw caught the pass which led to the game-winning touchdown against Cane Bay. The David and Goliath matchup this week went the Hawks' way, but we have another Goliath with Stratford.
Playing those 5A teams are going to prepare us for games, like with Oceanside, and hopefully if we make the playoffs, and it just, playing against that kind of competition makes us better and allows us to see the things we need to work on versus playing lesser teams and winning by big scores and thinking that we're not really as good as we think we are.
We put in way too much work over the summer and during regular season just to do all that. And we can definitely do more. We definitely do more.
Stratford, obviously, a 5A team. It's a numbers thing. We got to continue to get better and cut down some of our mistakes.
They have a pretty decent defense. The DBs and the secondary, they seem pretty decent, but that's not going to stop our offense.
Hopefully we can improve our undefeated record to 3-0 as we take on the Knights at their place. Kickoff is at 7:30. Get your tickets online because you can't get them at the gate. We included a link in our HEV Google Classroom, but for now, I'll be sending it back to Jackson in the studio.
Thanks, Nathan. As always, I'll be in the stands tonight. Switching over from football to volleyball, the Lady Hawks took a trip down to Cane Bay on Wednesday. The Lady Hawks took a trip down to State Road to take on the Cobras. The Lady Hawks returned the hit, a nice set, and the spike by Ella Cameron. Later in the game, a great block by Gwen Croft. The Lady Hawks fight hard and come out on top 3-1. Great work, ladies. Now we take a look at some upcoming events. First up, the girls volleyball team takes on North Charleston at home on Tuesday. Then they travel to Battery Creek on Thursday. Second up, the girls tennis team takes on Bishop England at Bishop England on Tuesday. Then they travel over to Cane Bay on Wednesday. And finally, they travel over to Oceanside on Thursday. Next up, both girls and boys swim team compete against Wando at Park West Recreation Center on Thursday. Last, but certainly not least, the Hawk football team takes on Philip Simmons at home on Friday at 7:30. And remember to stay updated on all things Hawk sports by going to hawkathletics.net. And remember, we are all heading over to Stratford for the big game. Make sure you head over to our HEV Google Classroom page for a link to grab tickets. You cannot buy tickets at the gate, they have to be bought online. Speaking of which, Coach Joseph in the athletics department wants to remind you, there will be no tickets sold at the gate of any Hawk home game this year. They must be bought online at hawkathletics.net. It's the same thing we did last year, but just a reminder to go ahead and buy them ahead of time. Now back to Macy in the studio.
Thanks, Jackson. Joseph wants to know why you shouldn't wear white after Labor Day. Let's see what you all had to say.
Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Yo, it's Yo Joseph. I heard you're not supposed to wear a white shirt after Labor Day, and I'm just wondering, what's the reason for it? Let's go find out. Why are you not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
You got white on. Because...
Rules.
Why are you not supposed to wear white after Labor Day? What's the rules?
Fashion rules.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Hi, Mom.
Fashion rules.
I don't know the answer to that question, to be honest with you.
Oh, because your t-shirt could get dirty.
Why are we not supposed to wear white after Labor Day?
Ooh.
Why?
I actually don't. I know that. I've heard that before.
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
Well, you're a teacher. You're supposed to know everything.
Yeah. You labor, you get.
That might be right, actually.
Because the fall, it's
I don't know.
that's a damn good question.
I don't know. I guess that was started back in the 50s or 60s. I don't know. I guess because of the fall colors.
You know, I think it's an old fashioned rule, but I don't think it applies anymore.
For the people that's wearing white, how dare you? Now back to Macy in the studio.
Thanks, Joseph. I made sure to follow that rule. Last but not least, make sure you stay up to date with all things Hawk's Eye View. The Hawk Watch never stops. We are on Twitter at Hanahan Eye. On Instagram, you can catch us at Hawk's Eye View HHS, and join our Google Classroom. The class code is A4BMYPO. Again, the class code is A4BMYPO. And we always keep that updated with important news. Don't forget to give us a follow and to cast your vote in the Student Council election. Good luck to all of you candidates. I'm Macy Ducker, and from all of us here at Hawk's Eye View, we will see you next week. Have a great weekend, Hawks, and good luck to our football team tonight.
What's 9 plus 10? 21. You stupid.